Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth is Tim Henderson. Tim, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing wonderful. How about yourself?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. We are at the Kern Raceway here out in California for round number 17 of the League of Outlaws season. Practice just getting wrapped up. We're going to roll right into heat racing action here tonight. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for heat race number 1. Row number 1, it's going to be James Murphy and Robert Floyd. Row 2 will be Tyler Bickford and Thomas Levister. Row number 3 is going to be Mason Setting and Jared Murphy. Well, for the first time in a while, my timing and scoring wants to act up on me this evening. We'll give that a reload here real quick. That looks much better. 8 laps of distance here in heat number 1. Second time this year we've been to the Kern Raceway. The first visit was back on December the 1st. We had dual features with an invert in feature 2, and we had a winner, Derek Darnell, not in the field here tonight. That's been the only different winner all season long. James Murphy has won the other 15 races. Derek Darnell, the 1 win there, that makes 16. This is round 17. Pace truck peels off. Field's got to make their way around the whole racetrack as the pit entrance is off the entry to turn number 1 here at Kern. They slowly work down the back straightaway. Robert Floyd leaving kind of a big gap. They're probably more than what Levister wants to see behind him. James Murphy picks up the throttle, and we are green for heat race number 1. James leads the charge through 1 and 2. Tyler Bickford, Robert Floyd was side by side. Bickford with the advantage on the inside, moves him into the 2nd spot, puts Robert Floyd back to 3rd. Tim, they're side by side for 4th.
Yeah, that is going to be Thomas Levister, Jared Murphy, and the 110 machine and Mason Setting. They're all battling to take over that 4th place position. Chasing down Robert Floyd in that 0-2 as Bickford is hot on the tail of James Murphy.
Absolutely. Going to take a peek to the inside, maybe into turn 3 here. James Murphy works the cushion. Tyler Bickford works the low side of the racetrack. 3 laps complete, 5 to go in heat number 1. What a great run through the center of the corner for Bickford. Evened himself on the exit. What's going to happen down here in 3 and 4? Bickford up on the berm just a touch. I think that's going to hurt his momentum. James Murphy pulls back ahead and leads the lap at the halfway point. Mason Setting with an issue. Has crashed. He has the car into the pit lane now. Unfortunate for Setting. Here, we're going to remain under the green flag.
Jared Murphy looking to the inside of Thomas Levister in that 22 machine as they're screaming through the exit of 2, headed into 3. Still side by side. Jared Murphy on the low side. He's trying to make the pass as he's just not able to have enough momentum and allowing Robert Floyd to roll away as Tyler Bickford is now back to the inside. They're dead even at the line for the lead.
Tell you what, they've taken the white flag. Bickford inches ahead down the back straightaway into turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Bickford on the inside. James Murphy on the outside. Who's going to prevail down the front straightaway? Tyler Bickford steals heat race number 1 from James Murphy. Robert Floyd will be 3rd. 4th, Jared Murphy was able to work by Thomas Levister, and then Mason Setting rounds out the heat there in the 6th spot. All right, can heat 2 top what we've seen there to finish heat race number 1? Starting grid for heat 2 is going to be Jared Helms and Matt Pridgeon. Row 1. Row 2 will be Jaden Dunovan and Ian Knickerbocker, and row number 3 is going to be AJ Hunsinger. Fantastic finish there to conclude heat race number 1 there, Tim.
Yeah, it was, and we're gonna have an awesome heat 2.
Yeah, I believe so. Looks like Ian Knickerbocker did not make the call, so just 4 cars going to start heat race number 2. AJ Hunsinger's kind of tailing the field a little further behind. Now he catches up. Pace truck peels off. They're going to have to work around the racetrack to get the green flag through turns 3 and 4. Jared Helms in that 18 machine, in control. Series regular Matt Bridgen on the outside. Helms picks up a throttle. Green flag goes in the air. We're underway in heat 2. Helms tries to slide up in front of Bridgen, but Bridgen with a good run through the center and down the back straightaway. Matt Bridgen into the lead into 3. Helms drives in pretty deep into 3 and 4. That's going to be a dead heat. No, Bridgen leads the lap. And then Jaden Dunovan there holding on to the 3rd spot for now with AJ Hunsinger taking a peek to the outside. Hunsinger is there. Hunsinger's still going to challenge him through 3 and 4. Dead even at the line between Dunovan and Hunsinger as that battle continues to rage on. Meanwhile, Matt Bridgen has cleared Helms and is looking to run away from the rest of the cars. Hunsinger has completed the pass on Dunovan, puts him into the 3rd spot. Dunovan back to 4th. Hunsinger now sets his sights forward on the 18 machine of Helms.
Looks like Bridgen found a little something in 3 and 4 around that high side. We're gonna see the guys in heat 1 throughout the feature learn that little line right there that Matt Bridgen and company is using.
Yeah, absolutely. I said Bridgen was going to try to look to run away, but Jared Helms in the 18 hasn't let him go very far at all. As a matter of fact, he's looking to the inside here out of 4. 2 to go. And AJ Hunsinger has closed the advantage as well and is within striking distance to Helms and Bridgen in front of him.
I just think Helms is giving up too much time in 1 and 2. He's great through 3 and 4 as we just took the white flag. Matt Bridgen's gonna roll around the outside. Jared's gonna look to take the checkered. He does not. He finishes 2nd. Matt Bridgen 1st. AJ 3rd and Jaden 4th.
Absolutely. That was 4 drivers that finished, and Knickerbocker did not start. 5 minutes do go on the clock for a warm-up session. We'll see if the admins decide to run the entire session out here. But in the meantime, we're going to step aside for a quick commercial break and get a word from our sponsors over at Premier Racing Setups. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back in here. We're going to check out the starting lineup for our main event here tonight. On the front row, it's going to be Tyler Bickford and Matt Pridgeon. Row number 2 is going to be James Murphy and Jared Helms. Row 3 is going to be Robert Floyd and AJ Hunsinger. Row number 4 is going to be Jared Murphy and Jaden Dunovan. Row number 5 will be Thomas Levister and Ian Knickerbocker. And row 6 will be Mason Setting. .40 laps the distance here tonight at the Kern Raceway. The big question is, does James Murphy continue his dominant streak this season and pick up the win here tonight, or does one of the other drivers pick a win? Bickford looked pretty strong in heat number 1, so that's going to be my driver to watch tonight. I know he's starting in position 1. Tim, who do you got your eye on?
You always find a way to just sneak it in right before I have to say anything. I'm gonna go with James Murphy. I think he's gonna be on the attack on the guys ahead of him. He learned his mistake in Heat 1. He's going to rebound from that, and he's going to take the win here tonight as Bickford takes the green flag. Pridgeon alongside of him. They're all over the place behind those three. Murphy to the inside of Pridgeon. Pridgeon up high. He tries to edge out James Murphy as they're still side by side.
Absolutely.
Bickford takes lap 1.
Yeah, Bickford into the lead. Jared Helms, the big loser on lap 1, got way up high, up into the, up over the cushion, down out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Lost a ton of momentum. Currently trails the field back there in 10th place, about 4.5 seconds off of Bickford already early on in this one as we complete lap number 2 down the back straightaway, already into turn number 3. Our top 3 single file, really all the way back to the battle for, it looks like the 7th spot between Jaden Dunovan, Thomas Levister, Mason Setting there in the 110, trying to make it a 3-car tangle here. But our top 6 cars, all single file, running the lower line. Tyler Bickford just trying to settle in, save his tire as best as possible. James Murphy following close behind there in the 2nd spot. Murphy moves up the racetrack a little bit. Pridgeon still works the middle. Then Robert Floyd in the 4th spot, and Jared Murphy already up a couple spots into position number 5. AJ Hunsinger currently runs in the 6th spot. Back to the battle for 7th. Mason Setting has gotten by both Dunovan and Levister and moves him into the 7th spot. And then Thomas Levister takes a peek to the outside of Dunovan into turn number 1, trying to move into position number 8. Here, and it looks like he is going to complete the pass down the back straightaway. Back up front, still single file, a couple car lengths between our top 5. Tim,
Tell you what,
we did notice as we got started with the stream here tonight how slicked off the racetrack was, and you can really tell now that the lights have come on here at the Kern Raceway, you know, just how slick the racetrack has gotten for these drivers.
yeah, I tried rolling around here, and it was not pretty. I can tell you guys that. I'm glad it wasn't caught on air. I had to triple check to make sure there was no hidden cameras in the car, and thank God there wasn't. I think I made about 2 clean laps out of 10. But Tyler Bickford is pulling away from James Murphy little by little each lap. He just ran a 15.9. Actually, that time by, James Murphy was about a 1/2 tenth quicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pridgeon settled in 3rd. The 02 of Robert Floyd's in 4th, under attack by Jared Murphy. AJ is sitting there in 6th. Mason Setting in 7th. and I think that's Levister in 8th, Jaden 9th, Jared 10th, and that rounds out the whole field.
Yeah, it sure does. And we'll go back to the battle that's starting to maybe brew a little bit between Robert Floyd and Jared Murphy in the 64. They're the kind of the closest pair on the racetrack at the moment, as things have really started to spread out here, as we've run almost 15 complete laps as they come across the stripe this time. Now, Jared Murphy closed right up to the back bumper of Floyd as they entered turn number 1, but I think Jared got into the wall just a touch and lost some momentum. He's going to have to gather it back up and mount the charge, try to pass the 0-2 of Robert Floyd. And the 33 machine of Hunsinger just behind is slowly making his way into that picture as well to try to get up to the top 5. Bickford's advantage up to about a second over that 65 of James Murphy. Last time around, Bickford was better by about a half a tenth. We'll see as they cross the stripe this time. This time by Bickford, 10th and a half quicker than James Murphy. 16:06 to a 16:20, so Bickford slowly bringing that advantage up. Once again, Bickford a little quicker. Jared Helms in the pit area. So he must have had an issue. Jaden Dunovan had an issue as well in the 32 machine. He's continuing, though, in the 9th spot.
Now we're about halfway through this race. Tyler Bickford has opened up the gap. He is also closing in on the caboose machine of Jaden in the 32.
Yeah, absolutely. Bickford, Murphy, your top 2. They're separated by 1.2 seconds. Matt Bridgen in 3rd. He's about 2.5 seconds back. Robert Floyd still in the 4th spot. Jared Murphy 5th. Those 3 are probably the closest together on the racetrack. And then AJ Hunstinger still running 6th. Mason Setting 7th. 8th to Thomas Levister. And Levister's closed the advantage to the 110 machine of Mason Setting. So battle probably will start between those 2 here shortly.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, you can just see these drivers just sawing at the steering wheel in 3 and 4. If you can get a close-up of some of their gloves. Mason Setting, he's got some bright red gloves. I don't know if you can really see them, though. But, I mean, these drivers are sawing at the wheel. You can just see it up here in the booth.
Absolutely. We're on board with Mason Setting as he's actually working the cushion. As he runs through 1 and 2 right now, he's going to get it run down the back straightaway. Kind of a driver's perspective here of what you see going around Kern. Hearing just how much his hands are moving on that steering wheel.
And not to mention, he's got a driver to the inside that's Levister in the 22 trying to make the pass.
Absolutely. So trying to make up some ground and also keep the 22 of Levister at bay all at the same time.
We got a cluster here for 3rd.
Oh,
Robert Floyd got to the side of. They touched again. Big contact from everyone. I think everyone hit. Robert Floyd. That's Robert Floyd in the 02. Bridgen in the 14, and Jared Murphy in the 64 machine. They all made contact through 3 and 4.
I'll tell you what, I don't know how they didn't wreck a couple laps ago there, Tim, because they all, like you said, made contact. Robert Floyd still trying to find a way around, has to jump on the brakes, though, because Matt Bridgen was a little slower than him getting into the corner. Bridgen just trying to hold on for dear life as he crosses the line that time, 10 to go. Floyd makes contact with him. Jared Murphy makes contact with Floyd as they played bumper cars through 1 and 2. And these drivers just trying to be careful and not make too much contact with one another. Floyd
Yeah,
does take a peek to the inside. Go ahead.
going back to what you said, how you can't believe that these drivers did not wreck those handful of laps ago. I couldn't tell you how they didn't because they are on ice.
Absolutely, this track has really slicked off. Tyler Bickford up to 2-second advantage over James Murphy in that 65 machine and is continuing to pull away. And this is the battle on the racetrack. Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Matt Pridgeon, Robert Floyd, Jared Murphy, and AJ Hunsinger is now a part of the battle as well.
Yeah, all while these guys, these front three were battling, it allowed AJ to sneak his way in. He's looking to steal that fifth place position from Jared Murphy and possibly pass the next two of Robert Floyd and Matt Pridgeon.
Yeah, Hunsinger, he's going to take a peek to the inside of Jared Murphy into turn 3. Oh, man, just got to be oh so careful on the throttle and the momentum out of 4. Hunsinger wasn't able to hold steady. Here's Robert Floyd with a good move into turn 3 as they kind of bang off of one another, him and Matt Pridgeon. Robert Floyd moves into the 3rd spot. Matt Pridgeon back to 4th for now. Oh my goodness, it's going to be 3 wide between Pridgeon, Murphy, and Hunsinger. It was for a moment that time, Tim.
Yeah, it was. And guess who just moved up a spot behind these guys battling? That'd be Thomas Levster after about 10 laps of being side by side with Mason Setting. He finally completed the pass, and he looks to get his way on towards 6th. As AJ's got a huge run off of 4, he makes contact with Jared. He's going to try and slip underneath him, not quite enough momentum.
All the meanwhile, we've been watching this battle, 3rd through 6th. Tyler Bickford's already taken the white flag, going down the back straightaway into turn 3. What a dominant performance tonight for Bickford in the 07. He comes out of turn 4, takes the checkered flag for the first time this season. Tyler Bickford wins with the League of Outlaws. James Murphy holds on for the 2nd spot, and Robert Floyd comes across the line to round out the podium. Then Matt Pridgeon 4th, Jared Murphy 5th, AJ Hunsinger 6th, Thomas Levester 7th, Mason Setting in 8th, Jaden Dunovan 9th, and Jared Helms in the 10th spot. Top 3 going to stop on the front straightaway. We're going to get to talk to our podium drivers here in just a few moments. Wow, what a good win for Bickford here tonight. He's been knocking on the door, Tim, all season, or at least in the second part of this season, and finally gets the checkered flag here tonight.
Yeah, it's he's been grinding, trying to get a win here, and he finally pulls it away from James Murphy's hands and the rest of the drivers. Anyone can go out here and win. Although Murphy has been on an insane dominant streak here.
Yeah, absolutely. James Murphy, this season has been on an absolute tear. Tyler Bickford finally getting his first win of the season here tonight. I see we have our podium drivers waiting for their interview. We're going to start things off with our 3rd place finisher tonight, Robert Floyd. Hey, Robert, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, I do. How's it going?
It is going fantastic, sir. All right, man. You had to battle your way into the top 3 here tonight. You and Matt Pridgeon, it seemed like battled for the better part of a dozen laps there or so, and you were finally able to get around him, man. What a feature and what a night for you getting a top 3.
Yeah, it's the first time getting a top 3 here with these crews. It's a fast group of guys here, but we're working our way up. Took a couple weeks off to gather my head up and focus on work, but we're back and we're ready.
Absolutely. You showed good speed here tonight, coming away with that top 3. Tim, do you have anything to ask Robert?
Yeah, Robert. It took you a little bit. You battled hard with Matt Pridgeon to get into that 3rd place spot. Can you tell us about how difficult it is to set up a pass and eventually complete it?
It's really hard, especially on Kern and when the track's this slick. But you know, it gets there, and all you got to do is just focus on your line and focus on your driving and your throttle input. And you know, eventually, if you keep pressure on them, they'll push themselves out of the way for you.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely applied the pressure to Matt Pridgeon to take away that third spot. Robert, before we let you go tonight, anybody you need to thank?
I want to thank my cousin for letting me borrow his computer to do this, and my family that supports me in all this, and everybody that's watching. I appreciate it, and especially you guys for putting this broadcast on.
We certainly appreciate the kind words, Robert. Fantastic run here tonight for you at Kern. We'll let you celebrate it.
Alrighty, thank you.
All right, that was our third place finisher tonight. Now we'll get a word in with our second place finisher. Hey, James, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
Well, James, another good run for you this season, coming away with a second place finish. Showed a lot of good speed. Bickford was able to get out to the lead and just kind of slowly worked away from the rest of the field and ran green from start to finish. How difficult was Kern to get around tonight with the slick conditions?
It's just one lane. I'm not a big fan of this track. I tried to make it racy, but the track doesn't ever seem to get racy here. It was decent in the heat race, but in the main event, it just got to one lane, and I was trying to be different. I kept trying stuff, and I finally just got back into the line and rode.
Yeah, we did see you searching around a little bit there, and like you said, it seemed like that kind of the middle lowish line was definitely the preferred line for the drivers here tonight. Tim, do you have anything to ask James?
Yeah, James. How important was the win for Tyler Bickford to steal it away from you in the heat going into the feature? I mean, that's one whole row that you could have started at ahead. How important was that?
It was important. I think he still would have got around me. He was faster tonight. I haven't done no racing. I've been sick all week, so I literally got out of bed to do this race, and I was about to get back in it.
Well, James, definitely sorry to hear you feeling under the weather, and hope you get better soon and back to 100%. And before we let you go, though, James, who do you need to thank?
Thank y'all for the broadcast. Everybody with League of Outlaws, AJ for the rap, and Talking Dirt.
All right. Well, again, James, great run here tonight. Sorry to hear again that you're feeling under the weather, and we'll let you get back to resting.
Thank y'all.
Again, that was our second place finisher, James Murphy. Let's talk to our winner here tonight. Hey, Tyler, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. What a fantastic night for you. Won the heat, started on the pole, led the entire way in the feature, dominated here tonight at Kern. What a night. What was the secret to getting around this place?
Just riding around the rubber. That's just, if you went out of that, I feel like you're losing speed.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we talked to James. He said it definitely was a one-lane racetrack, and you found that lane and put the car where it needed to be, and just kind of slowly but surely pulled away from the field and was nice and smooth the rest of the run. Um, for the folks at home, when the track gets this slick, as a driver, what things do you have to adjust in, whether it's throttle control, steering inputs, what all do you have to do in car to get around a racetrack like this and be fast?
The main thing is just being patient. All it boils down to is being patient. Throttle control is about being patient. Steering input's about being patient. So as long as you're patient and smooth, you'll get around quick.
All right. Well, thanks for the input there. Tim, do you have anything to ask Tyler?
Yeah, Tyler, I'm sure you're ready to get on out of here and probably enjoy yourself a nice cold beverage. Uh, how important was this win to you, and what does it give you more momentum in the coming weeks?
I'm just glad to finally get a win, man. I feel like it's been a long time coming, but man, I hope it brings more momentum. But James and Jared and these guys are always fast, so you know, never telling.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the competition between you and the Murphy brothers, you know, seems like each and every week is always top notch here with the League of Outlaws. And, you know, all three of you are always battling for a win here. But, Tyler, before we let you go tonight, who do you need to thank?
Yeah, thank you guys for awesome broadcasts as always. The League Outlaws for putting it on. East Coast Sim Sports, No Coast Customs, and oh boy, that'd be it.
All right, Tyler. Well, again, big congratulations on your first victory this season. We'll let you celebrate it.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
You as well. All right, that's going to conclude our interviews here tonight. Well, Tim, as we start to bring things to a close here with round number 17 with the League of Outlaws, your takeaways from tonight.
Just a fantastic night of racing. I know these guys said that there was a lot of one lane action, but from the booth's perspective, it was an amazing night of racing. There was battles everywhere to be had.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a fantastic finish to close out our first heat of the night and had some good side-by-side action a little bit deeper in the field in the feature. And a first-time winner this season, Tyler Bickford, brings home the checkered flag here tonight at the Kern Raceway.